the #1 long-form writer that helps SEOs outrank competition at the click of a button using real-time research and NLP. Start ranking content today with content@scale.ai.
Wix Studio, one end-to-end web creation platform for your agency to deliver exceptional work with absolute efficiency.
I want to start off with a story where at the start of the year, brightonSEO had another event. I went to the event. Afterwards, I went to my hotel room and I was scrolling through my Twitter feed. Whilst I was on my Twitter feed, I saw a tweet that said, "You should apply to be a speaker." Now, I've always wanted to be a speaker, so I thought, let me put a little application in. Whilst I was waiting for them to get back to me, I actually saw a lot of their content come up on my Twitter feed. It's weird because it started coming up on my Instagram and my LinkedIn as well. And I didn't really follow them there. Maybe I did it subconsciously. Or maybe my phone was just listening to all my conversations. I don't know. But during that time, I started seeing them post about webinars and different training they're offering. And when this was happening, I'd recently moved from agency to in-house. So anyone else who's made that change understands it's a different kind of learning when you go and work in-house compared to agency. Because in an agency, you're doing a lot of experimenting and fast-paced learning, whereas in-house, you're doing a lot more deep learning. And I wanted to stay competitive and keep learning. So I went on Google and I decided to search something like SEO courses or SEO webinars. And just in the corner of my eye, I glimpsed brightonSEO. And I thought, I've seen their content. Let me just click on that, because they've got some good speakers and good stuff, so I ended up clicking on that. And as I went through their content, I was like, this is pretty good, and I would recommend it to anyone in here. But I would never have clicked on that if I hadn't interacted with them earlier on socials, on Twitter or on LinkedIn. And I think that the reason I wanted to highlight this was because I think it's super important to the search journey. I think the search journey now starts a lot earlier than it did, or what we think it does. I think that it happens on a multi-platform level. And I think we have to influence search in order to win brand, in order to win customer attention. But I'm going to speak a bit more about that as we get into it. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Saddiq, and I've worked in digital marketing for around 8 years now. I've worked heavily on the social side, where I've worked with TikTok marketing, influencer marketing, Instagram marketing. And I've also worked on the SEO side, where I've worked at some cool agencies in the UK. And now, more recently, I'm looking after the SEO here at Monzo Bank. And during my career, I found some interesting things. The main thing that I found is that the search landscape has changed massively. And I think that everyone in here knows that. Everyone's seen that the search landscape's changed, because every time we log on to anything where we're looking at the news, we're seeing things like this. We're seeing that AI in perspectives is here. There's loads of low-quality content being produced by ChatGPT that people are just building niche sites off the back of. We're seeing that Gen Z spend all their time on TikTok, and that's what they're using to search. And we're trying to build brand and share, and you should be sharing content online. This whole notion of content distribution has become huge. A lot of people have been talking about it. And it's not a new phrase, but content distribution recently has grown massively. But anytime I mention speaking, or anytime I speak to an SEO about distributing their content or posting on social, this is the response I get. It's not an actual ranking factor, so don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. And it's interesting because they will tell you this, and a lot of people will say this, and they are right, because the content that we're doing organically on our websites, it's working, it's pulling in traffic, right? So why should we worry about it? It doesn't matter, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that all of this matters, and it's incredibly important, because we've had this notion of thinking that organic channels have always been separate pillars. Whether you work in-house or an agency, or your clients have this, you'll see that the organic channels that are in these brands, or wherever they are, they're always separate. They don't really communicate or cross over. And we can't do that anymore, because if you want to, because it's not like that anymore. You can't think of it as an or. Search or social is no longer what it is. Because right now, in 2023, I think in order for you to build brand, you have to do it online. Brand is built online. And in order to win customer attention, you have to build brand by aligning the organic journey, and aligning the organic channels. You have to start thinking with and. We've got to replace that or with and. And what I mean by that is the attention right now, consumer attention, is spread across loads of platforms. Here's just some examples. I mean, you've probably seen there's a lot more than this, but there's just some of the places where the attention is being spread. And these platforms aren't leaving it up to chance. because the way we as consumers interact with these platforms has changed. We use them differently to how we used to use them. For example, TikTok understood that we wanted to be able to search. We wanted to have that ability to search on the platform because short-form content is easy to digest for us. They know that, so they gave us the functionality. Then you've got Google with perspectives. Google understood that we as a people want to see stuff from influencers. We want to see stuff from people because people do trust people. With all the misinformation that's online, the low-quality AI content that's being pumped out, we still want some sort of human element. So they gave us the functionality. But what does this actually mean for the user search journey? Well, to work this out, we have to start on the social side. So we're going to go to the social side, and we're going to go from misinformation, because we all know, and I'm sure everyone else in this room understands, that since around 2016, misinformation has been a big thing on all social media platforms and all platforms in general. I've pulled some statistics here, and they're quite interesting. You can read them afterwards. I can't be asked to read them out, but they're really good, and there's another one here, also great. But basically, the crux of it is that they are talking about misinformation that's across these different platforms. But what I want to highlight here is the rise of this affiliate influencer marketing. Because right now, if you have a TikTok account, you can easily go viral quite quickly. And there's some social media managers in here who are going to be angry at me for saying easily, but you can, if you create consistent good content, you can go viral. And I've got nothing against affiliate marketing. I've built niche sites, so I think they're great. I think affiliate marketing is great. But what I'm trying to highlight here is that this creates bias with the product that they're promoting. But we as consumers are not stupid. We understand that this is happening. So as a result, we're going to make micro decisions on multiple platforms to inform our decision on making a purchase or making a decision on who we want information from, who we find credible, who we find authoritative. This is what we're used to as SEOs. We're used to seeing this customer journey or this search journey. This is something a lot of people in this room will be familiar with. And this is great to break up a content map, but we need to stop thinking of the search journey being this and just on Google, because this is just classic SEO. This, like I said, great for a content map, but this is not what we need anymore. What the user search journey now looks like, what's more accurate, is this, Google's messy middle, which is fantastic. This is what I think it looks like, but I think it looks like this on a multi-platform level, because it's got a laser pointer apparently. Oh, it does. So you can get up here exposures, triggers, and all these different decisions that we're making across this all. It's happening earlier. It's happening on Instagram. It's happening on TikTok. It's happening on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it now. And that's what's going to lead to your purchase or lead to a consumer trusting your information that you're posting on your content on your website. You have to influence them early on. But with all this attention there, how do we actually capture it? Well, the first thing we have to do is start changing our mindset. We need to treat our website as a destination. No matter where your organic traffic is coming from, you have to understand that your website is a destination for all organic traffic, no matter where it's from. So your channels have to be aligned to match that. And your website has to be optimized for whatever you're doing on this side. So if you're influencing them on this side, it has to be optimized on that side ready. But I'm not talking about mobile optimization. We can all do mobile optimization. But we want the website on this side to be ready for when they're searching, what they're searching, how your persona is working. But I know there's a lot of SEOs in the room that are probably thinking, what does this actually mean for my rankings? Because Big G says that, it's not an actual ranking factor. Well, what else is not an official ranking factor that we've been pouring loads of resource into, loads of work, loads of effort, and it works? EEAT. This is not a direct ranking factor. This is not an official ranking factor, but we put a lot of effort into it because it works really well. We put a lot of work and time, and I would argue that good social posting alongside good content results in good EEAT, because let's see, what is it made up of? What is EEAT really made up of? It's just trust, credibility, and brand reputation, really. And I would argue that's just building brand. And like I said, if you want to build brand now, brand is now built online. And if you want to win customer attention, you have to align your organic channel so you're influencing that search journey by thinking of and. You have to start thinking search and social. Because you need to meet your customers, your users, your searchers along multiple different touch points. I'm sure a lot of you will be familiar with the 8 touch point theory, where it takes 8 touch points for a consumer to trust you and find you credible and authoritative enough to understand your content and purchase from you. But you're probably thinking, okay, Ray, this is great, mate, but how do I do this? Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say that you're a pet shop or veterinary clinic, right? You're doing well in the SERPs, but you want to win some more market share. Maybe your board of directors have come to you and they've said to you, we need some more market share, mate. Like, this is not going that well. Here's what you could do. Here's an example. Share some of that resource that you're putting onto EEAT. And I'm saying share. Don't take it away because it works well, so don't take it away. Share some of it. And what I mean by share some of it is take the writers you're crediting this work to. This only works if they're real. I know there's a few black hat SEOs that I've met along the way here. So this only works if they're real. You take those writers, you ask them if they're willing to jump onto a podcast, video it, clip it, share it on social, do it consistently, okay? When you start doing it consistently, what you're going to see, and you do it well, you might have to hire someone off Fiverr to help edit your videos or something like that, or a social strategist, but once you start doing that well, you're going to see something cool. You're going to see some real ranking signals, because it is going to give you real ranking signals. It's going to, number one, generate you backlinks. And I don't mean generate you backlinks by when you Google how does social affect SEO, whatever, and it gives you that generic, oh, it's going to generate you some natural pickup. No, that's not what I'm saying here. If you're doing digital PR, and I know there's some great digital PR agencies in the room right now, if you are doing some digital PR, this is going to contribute towards that. This is going to build on what you're doing there. This is going to help you generate ideas. It's going to feed into your campaigns. And it's going to have a real viral moments. Like, this is something that's really cool. So when you see social, digital PR, and SEO align, you will see a real viral moment. This is real viral because it's on a multi-platform level and it's influencing search whilst going viral. So no matter what point your user's at, they are going to be able to find your content on your website at the end because your website's the destination. That's going to build into building credibility, which is going to give you brand mentions and build your authoritativeness on the subject and the topics you're speaking about. And overall, it's going to improve your brand. Because if you win on brand now, you are going to win overall. But what I've just told you there is just content distribution. This has been around for a while now. A lot of people know about it. There's probably people in this room that have already started doing content distribution. But how can we take this a step further as SEOs? Well, what we could do, and anyone who is an SEO can do this, is you can go onto your brand social feed, if you're already doing it, find some content that's related to the organic content that's already doing well on your website, take that piece of content, embed it onto that blog post. It's going to update the page, but what it's going to do is when those organic clicks come through, they're going to start to click on your social feed, and it's going to go through to their social feed. This works particularly well with TikTok and Reels, and even Facebook Reels now. And then just like me with Brighton, where the content keeps coming up on my feed, it's going to be the same for them. It's almost like when you capture someone's email, but you're not actually asking them for anything. It's like you're naturally picking up and capturing that person's data without capturing their data because they want to do it. They want to follow you. They want to contribute. They want to see your content. And the thing is, search engines, social media platforms understand now that if they just show us more content of stuff we like, we're going to keep coming back on their platforms. So they're going to be engaged on you, and they're going to continuously see your content. And that's going to influence what they search for. That's going to build your brand's ecosystem. And what I mean by that is people are going to start treating your blog like an actual blog. This is something we forget as SEOs, because there's hundreds, thousands of websites on the internet that don't do SEO, but they do really well in search because their content naturally picks up because of their brand. And if they're doing this, and I purposely didn't bring any examples of this because I know there's people everyone in the audience has got an idea of a brand in their mind that when they break down their traffic in Ahrefs and they look into their traffic, they see, oh, I can't keep up with this person's organic reach because all of their organic traffic is coming from the keyword plus brand. The only way you're going to enter that conversation is by paying for it. So in turn, if people start searching, say you're back to be in the pet shop, and you do 14 ways to be a better pet owner, when their users search that, they'll search that plus the brand name. And whilst your competitors are doing 15 ways to be a pet owner, plus some backlinks to that page, you're going to outbid them, you're going to be better than them, and you're going to rank higher than them because users are just going for your brand name. You're going to win overall. And all you're doing really is making your content work harder. That's literally it. But I understand. What I've just said to you sounds like I'm trying to say you need to learn a complete new skill set. And I understand that we're all in the same boat, the resource is tight, and we as marketers, digital marketers, we're busy. I get that. But I'm here to tell you that we can get through this, and there are ways stuff that we can do. I wanted to leave you with some actionable stuff that you can take away and you can do. First thing is that I want you to enjoy the rest of the talks today because there's some amazing speakers coming up, and I hope to see you guys at the after party later as well, and maybe have a few drinks with you. But after Monday morning, when you get back to your offices, if you're agency, freelancer, consultant, I want you to get on a call with your client or put them in a room. Or if you're in-house, I want you to get your organic social channels, your digital PR, your SEO, your social. I want you to stick them in a room together, and don't let them leave until they understand a few things. So the first thing is, they need to understand to build brand, it's done online. And if you want to win customer attention, you have to do it by aligning your organic channels. And this can be done quite easy for them because all you have to do is the first step is get them to have these conversations regularly. They don't even need to leave with creating a content calendar that day. All they have to really do is have these conversations on a regular basis to start those little steps of aligning channels. Because you'll just see, people will just start connecting dots. And all of a sudden, you'll just see everything come together, and then you'll see a real viral moment. Next thing is, everyone needs to understand that your website is a destination, no matter where the organic traffic's come from. That means everything that you're doing on this side, you have to be influencing it on this side and then optimizing it on this side for that. Finally, and I think most important, is you need to make your content work harder, because you put so much time and resource and energy and money into your content. You need more people to see it, so push it out there. But Brighton, you've been amazing. Thank you.
Monthly reporting making you want to shove sharp things up your nose? Try Dragon Metrics, the all-in-one SEO software with mind-blowing reporting tools.